Deepwater Games have unveiled Sovereign Skies and Foreplan, two brand new board games that will hit stores in 2020. Sovereign Skies is a territory control sci-fi board game where humans have recently learned space travel. Players take on the role of one of the houses of Old Earth. Their goal is to earn favors from alien senators and ambassadors and attempt to colonize the cluster by building and activating bases for energy and influence. Sovereign Skies is for 1 to 4 players and plays in about 45 minutes. MSRP will be $40 US. Foreplan is a roll and write game where players take on the roles of architects that compete to design and build their dream homes. This game is for 1 to 100 players, plays in 20 to 30 minutes with an MSRP of $19.95. Both games are expected to arrive in stores in the first quarter of 2020. Wizards of the Coast have acquired Montreal-based digital games developer Tuque Games, a company that is already involved in development of at least one yet untitled video game based on Dungeons & Dragons announced in March of 2019. And now Wizards of the Coast have acquired Tuque Games. This succession seems to point to an effort by the part of Wizards of the Coast to focus on expanding their portfolio of digital games. As a matter of fact, Chris Cox, CEO of Wizards of the Coast, said that the move maybe even help redefining what it means to be a games company. Tuque Games have only released one game so far, Live Lock, published by Perfect World Entertainment in 2016, but the company was founded by Jack Hayden, formerly of Ubisoft and Behavior Interactive, so they have some clout. Let's wait and see what comes out of this acquisition.
Designer Isaac Childress has unveiled a project he's been teasing for years, Frosthaven, the follow-up to his immensely successful Gloomhaven. And this standalone follow-up, as the name implies, is set in the frozen north. Which is interesting because here in the southern hemisphere code is south. But anyway, players must contend with snow yetis, the elements, and eerie machines that walk the wastes with a will of their own. It features 16 new characters, 3 new races, more than 20 new enemies, more than 100 new items, and a new 100-page scenario campaign. Frosthaven will feature much more to do outside of combat, such as numerous mysteries to solve, a seasonal event system to live through, and player control over how the ramshackle village expands, with each new building offering new ways to progress. Cephalofair Games intends to kickstart Frosthaven in March 2020.
Hunters Entertainment has partnered with Paradox Interactive to develop and publish Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition, the next evolution of the fan-favorite tabletop role-playing game from the world of darkness. In Werewolf the Apocalypse, players are Garou, individuals born of two worlds, the material and the spiritual, who can shapeshift into wolves at will. Set to release in 2021, the new edition of Werewolf the Apocalypse has been long anticipated by fans and was teased at PDX-Con in Berlin by the World of Darkness team at Paradox. Mechanically, the game is set to share a lot of similarities with the recent release of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, but will have a lot of elements that make it unique. With one of the most relevant stories of today, Werewolf the Apocalypse is a welcome addition to the World of Darkness that Paradox Interactive is creating.